The following is a live presentation of News Channel Nebraska Sports.
And welcome to Grand Island Senior High. It is time for the B-5 District Championship. Winner punches their ticket to state as York takes on Aurora. Brandon Axman alongside Andy Klassen with you for this one. It is a packed house here at Grand Island Senior High as these two rivals clash, Andy, and there's not much bigger stakes than a trip to Lincoln with a victory.
No, there really isn't. And the York Dukes came out so hot last night, especially in the first half. They're going to want to carry that momentum into tonight's contest. And the Aurora Huskies, on the flip side, they did start out a little slow, a little shaky, up to their regards anyway. They still pulled off the win, but when you're talking about this matchup, the crowd's in it. But I mean, you can feel electricity in the crowd right now. Sorry about that, guys. But this game is going to be hot. This is going to be highly contested. The first time these two teams played, it went down to the wire. Aurora, of course, was able to pull it off. They have a heavy senior lineup. York, on the other side, they only have one senior, John Irwood, and he's one heck of a senior in his own right.
Glad you're joining us here from the St. Francis Medical Center pre-game show. Getting to this contest, Aurora took down Hastings 55-44. And it was a close game, a one-point ball game at halftime. But the Huskies ended up surviving, coming out on top. York took care of Northwest 65-37 in this semifinal. And talking to head coach Tom Leiniger, the Dukes are shooting about as hot as anybody in Class B, and he knows that the Huskies are going to have to play very tough defense to try to slow their shots down.
They really are, and it complements what the Dukes really love to do, and that is get out and run in transition. The initial thing, they want to move the ball down the court and get that easy lane. If it's not there, they always have the kick out, and they have some serious sharpshooters, and Brady Danielson and Tyler Cass, especially last night, Tyler just lit it up from the outside.
And Coach Scott Lambert, he said Cass coming off a 17-point performance like you're talking about, Andy. He got hot early and never cooled down, and that was actually a welcoming sight because he's not one of the leading scorers on the Dukes, but when you have a player that can light it up from the outside, good things are going to happen for you.
Well, even when he's not shooting the ball particularly well, he's still a 6'3" guard, and that's still a nice luxury to have.
And Tommy Leiniger, he's also coming off a 17-point performance of his own for Aurora. Now, admittedly, talking to both Coach Leiniger as well as some of the players after that game, he said, credit to Hastings, they shot very well and played very well, but we had a few guys who didn't quite play up to snuff either.
Right.
Austin Allen, he had 6 points. You expect a little bit more out of him. But he said the good thing about this Aurora team is we have other guys that can step up and find ways to win, which is what they did last night.
You're exactly right. They're so unselfish, and sometimes it gets the best of them. And right there you saw a perfect set play there. York working the ball around, getting it down low.
So we're trading baskets. Tommy Leiniger answers for Aurora. It's 2-2.
And we've seen Tommy do that time and time again. When his team needs a bucket, when they need someone to step up, Leiniger, the coach's kid, is always there.
And then you have Josh Irwin answering, so York with a 2-point lead. That first basket was by Simon Odie.
Very welcome sign there with Irwin, the lone senior on the York team, able to knock down his first jumper from the sideline there.
Talking to Coach Scott Lamberty as well, this York Dukes team, very young with only one senior, but they go 10 deep. They rotate guys in and out and stay fresh throughout the contest.
And that really plays into what they like to do, and that is get out in transition, push the ball, try to maximize opportunities and create extra opportunities.
And there you see Penner getting out and making sure he gets a hand up from that shot from Tyler Cast and altered the shot there.
The length of the Aurora Huskies, it really sneaks up on you. The short guy out there, 6'1", 6'2".
Running down the starting lineups, first off for York, it's Simon Odie, Brady Danielson, John Irwin, Tyler Cast, and Garrett Snodgrass. As for Aurora, Cade Morrill, Baylor Shireman, the sophomore in the starting lineup, Austin Allen, Tommy Leiniger, and Henry Penner, as Allen cannot connect.
And this really will be a battle of the wills because both teams love that transition game. They love to get out and run, and they have the athletes to do it.
That is correct, Andy. And you know something else that even makes it more fun about this contest? Trip to Lincoln on the line, but these two teams know each other very, very well in terms of rivalries. Talking to both coaching staffs, he said it's not one of those nasty rivalries, but it's a bragging rights rivalry where all the players know one another and they want to be the ones to say, hey, we beat you guys on the hardwood.
Right. This is a healthy competition between two schools, two communities that know each other very well. And, yeah, a lot of respect going both ways. And I talked about it earlier, Brandon. York gave them one heck of a game that first go-around. They had the lead there, I believe, in the fourth quarter even. So they have the confidence coming in here tonight knowing they could pull this off.
And that's right. The actual score of that one was a 59-52 win for Aurora, and Coach Leiniger remembers that quite well, saying exactly what you said. They really had to dig deep because they did trail for the majority of that game, and like York is playing right now, they shot very hot that night.
Right, and there's no better time to get hot than at the end of the season. And last night, York just put on a shooting clinic against Northwest, especially early on.
Backdoor cut actually goes off the basket. Unlucky bounce for the Dukes.
Oh, it was there, and Snodgrass saw the cutter. Just threw that pass a little too high. It caught the rim.
And there you have the foul. Austin Allen had an easy lay-in had it not been for Brady Danielson, his first personal.
And Baylor Shireman really made that play happen with that touch pass, quick down low. Austin Allen making himself available, drawing the foul.
And that's uncharacteristic from Austin Allen, and you hear the York student section, they're going to get all over him for that.
There's a little bit of that healthy rivalry we were talking about.
0 for 2 from Allen. We're about halfway through this first quarter. It's just a 2-point ball game, 6 points scored in total.
Right, both teams have kind of squandered a couple opportunities.
And right now, actually, we're seeing Aurora in this zone defense, which isn't something we always see. Morrill on the break. Here comes Penner in transition. He gets the left-handed lay-in.
Wow, it doesn't take long for these Huskies to run the entire length of the court. And yeah, you mentioned it, this zone defense, they get their hands up, they get them out, they deflect a lot of passes. You saw it on full display right there, creating a turnover, running the court, getting the bucket.
That triple off the mark by Brady Danielson. Now here's the transition game. Leiniger fouled, and he will shoot two. Now Coach Leiniger said the transition game, both offensively and defensively, was going to be one of the big keys for the Huskies. And we've seen it before that they always love to get out in transition, but the fact about getting back against this York team is something else they plan on focusing on.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's one thing to get out and run with the ball, but York, they're so good at doing that as well. And they got the bailout kick-out three ball to go with it. So a lot of things to defend on the other end.
3 minutes and 18 seconds left in this first quarter. That foul is against Garrett Snodgrass, his first personal and second team foul for York. But it's pretty safe to say, Andy, electric atmosphere in this district championship, and you'd expect no less between these two teams.
It really is, and we're talking with both coaching staffs, and they're so proud of the pep bands. They're having a little battle of the bands there in the pregame, and you just love to see that, love to hear that. Both teams traveling very well to Grand Island tonight.
And York, it Hawaiian theme for the student section. Never a bad theme to go with.
Not at all. Hey, and we're in the right place. We're at the Islanders.
Leininger now with 3 points, coming off that 17-point performance last night against the Vikings. And we're nearing that 3-minute mark. York taking their time with Brady Danielson, drawing something up here.
York has generated a couple really good looks against this zone defense. They just haven't been able to finish.
They have a scramble on the floor, jump ball, and that will stay with the Dukes.
And on that possession, you saw AA, big man Austin Allen, really take away the baseline. He knew that the dribble penetration was going to try and come that way. He cut it right off, and that's what you got to do.
Danielson with the inbound to Cast. Now working it inside. There's the steal by Morrill. He's on the break and is blocked. But Reed Hoffman also going to be called for contact.
Cade Morrill being so crafty on the top end of that zone defense, jumping the passing lane, driving the entire length of the court, and then using his body to seal the defender between him and the rim, drawing the foul, going to the line.
And Morale hits his first. He's one of those guys that sometimes gets lost in the star power of Leininger, Austin Allen, and Henry Penner, but he is the point guard that really facilitates a lot of this offense and is a senior leader that's been doing so all year.
He really is, and he's just an excellent complement to the other guards on this Aurora Husky basketball team.
Again, York just feeling out this 2-3 zone for the Huskies. It's never easy to score in the paint for any opposition against Aurora with Austin Allen and Henry Penner inside. But you get the rare basket in the paint there. John Irwin says, I have other ideas.
The senior, John Irwin, stepping up. Real nice spin move there. Got it to fall.
Just a 1-point ball game with 1:58 to go here in the first.
And you got to think, if you're the York Dukes, you're very happy with where you're at right now.
Irwin with it on the wing, swings it back up top, and you see the patience. York is making sure they get a shot that they like. And that's sometimes a good thing to do, to slow up the basketball tempo against a team like Aurora that can get out and score so quickly.
It really is. And then John Irwin doing a good job hustling his butt back, getting that rebound, not allowing the Huskies another putback opportunity.
Just over a minute to go, still a 1-point game. Three-pointer from the top of the key, rattles home for Brady Danielson.
And what I really like about that shot, Danielson, as soon as he made that, he turned around and hustled right back on defense because he knew the Huskies would want to get out and run with it.
And the Dukes with a 2-point lead. 55 seconds to go.
And the last time down the court, York did an excellent job of waiting for the shooter to get open, and they saw Shireman kind of sag down and try and steal another pass. They got it through, were able to knock down the shot.
And Shireman finds a cutting Austin Allen, but I'm not sure. I think they're going to say Allen was out of bounds on the baseline when he touched the basketball. Or are they going to say there was a foul? I'm waiting for the signal.
Well, I thought he might have tried to hook the defender there and they would have picked up the foul, but it looks like it must have just been a foot on the line or something like that.
Yeah, there's no foul being shown. So regardless, it's a turnover and York has the basketball. And the Dukes, with 17 seconds and counting, look like they'll hold on for a final shot.
being up 2, not a bad place to be at the end of the first quarter.
That three's off the mark, and it gives Aurora time to score. 3 seconds, Leininger to the rack. And the senior ties things up with the buzzer expiring.
Wow.